play. So this is sort of the context. This is specific as anything. I mean, you can think of like baseball or hip-hop music or anything. Everything has sort of its tradition and it's sort of like its dialogue and its vocabulary and its players and its people that have pushed certain things in certain different directions. But I'm really coming from sort of a painting background, to be totally honest. What I studied in undergraduate, it's what I studied in graduate school. But I think of painting really very openly. Again, it's painting, maybe working with paint, you may be making objects that are based on the wall, but it's not necessarily you're always making a painting, but you're sort of working within that sort of mindset of painting. I'm really interested in abstraction, so I'm an abstract painter. I'm really interested in really minimal painting. You guys have probably seen through this stuff, you've gone around and visited like different kinds of painting, like abstract painting. You got some more gestural stuff, you have stuff that's more geometric, you have stuff that maybe even just one color, monochrome painting, these kinds of things. So the more minimal for me, the better, actually. This is stuff that I'm just, for some odd reason, attracted to. Maybe I grew up in Chicago. Chicago's very, I don't know how you would probably, you're from Chicago, aren't you?
I lived there for 8 years.
You lived there?
I went to grad school, yeah.
So Chicago is, it's a very sort of horizontal and vertical city. You know, the landscape around Chicago is absolutely just unbelievably flat. Everything is horizon line. You know, the city kind of came about through the industrialization, sort of the mechanization of agriculture. So, you know, people who were kind of in Chicago were literally like one step out of the fields and one step out of the factory. So it's just sort of like, I don't know, sort of down-to-earth, homegrown, kind of from the land, kind of genuine kind of thing. You know, Chicago's an incredibly designed place. It's really well known for its architecture and the advancement of architecture, and you know that sort of like construction and landscape and sort of I don't know, kind of Spartanism, I think is sort of influenced my work. So I guess as an artist, I'm really interested in ideas first and foremost, and I start in the studio based on like interesting, like things I find interesting. Could be you know, a lot of painters and a lot of artists, a lot of abstract artists. Sort of, you tend to think of them working up in their head somewhere. You know, it's like this sort of personalized, emotive expression of something that's going on in their soul, or in their mind, or in their heart. I don't necessarily work that way. I work actually quite the opposite. I'm not kind of a romantic painter in that sense. I'm interested much more in ideas, and it could be about anything. Things you read in the newspaper, celebrity gossip, music, politics. But as of late, it's been really about the war, about the Iraq War, and that's sort of something that's been concerning me as a human being, but also as an artist for a really long time, 5 years and running at this point. So I tend to work in a number of different ways, on paper sometimes. Sometimes I do paintings. Sometimes there'll be works that are directly made on the wall. Sometimes they're on the floor. It's really kind of a case-by-case sort of basis. I'm going to go to my work page. You guys have already seen this. You've probably read through a lot of the stuff that I've done. Let me just go down maybe a little bit further. Okay, maybe. Okay, so you've seen the Brussels stuff that Rosanna and I did. And Rosanna was really coming to this from the perspective of a performance artist and installation artist. And I was thinking of this, and what does this look like in terms of painting? And this idea of like tracing lines in a space in color, and what does that look like dimensionally? And the fact that we were wearing monochrome running clothes. I'm in red and she's in orange. You know, this to me is painting. It's nothing more than that. I mean, it's not fashion, it's not design, it's painting. And that's sort of the take that I took on this. Let me just show you. Maybe I'll start from here. Actually, I'll go up a little higher. Sorry. I'll start with this piece, because this will give you a sense of like how I approach painting. This is a shot of a piece that I did in Houston. They're all like small little paintings, okay? They're like little things, but they act as one piece. So this is one set piece. It's 9 panels. And they're each like little wooden panels. They're about 8 by 10, like the size of a sheet of paper, more or less. Yeah, like an A4 size, like that size. Yeah. And they are wood panels that I covered with plastic bags that I found. So they're not actually painted. They're covered with pieces of like shopping bags. And as you'll notice, there is one in black, white, green, red, pink, brown, yellow, orange, blue. And they're in a certain order that was based on the lines of a lyric of a Beatles song, that Paul McCartney sings. Actually, I'll go back to the lyrics so you can see it.
What song?
I'll tell you. It's the song called "I Love You," where he sings. Oh no, it's a song. I'm sorry. All Together Now, where he sings black, white, green, red. Can I take my friend to bed? Pink, brown, yellow, orange, blue. I love you. And the piece is called "I Love You." Okay. And what I found really interesting about this, just like listening to my iPod, screwing around, I'm thinking, well, this is really interesting. I've got Paul McCartney in a Beatles song singing about color. I'm like, what does that mean?